do you feel about the country's current voting system? My purpose today is to persuade you to support abolishing the U.S. Electoral College. My many weeks of research on the Electoral College have prepared me to explain the benefits of abolishing the Electoral College. After today, you will have a full understanding of why getting rid of the Electoral College will be a good decision. I will begin by describing the problem, then explain some of its causes, and conclude with my solution. With our roadmap in place, let's begin with the problem. The problem is lawmakers aren't interested in getting rid of the Electoral College. For example, the last attempt at changing the country's voting system was in 1969. According to the U.S. House of Representatives online archive article on the Electoral College Fast Facts, the closest Congress has come to amending the Electoral College since 1804 was during the 91st Congress, where the resolution passed the House but failed to pass the Senate. In other words, lawmakers haven't taken any action to actually change the country's voting system. In addition, majority of lawmakers support the Electoral College. As stated by the 2018 report on the Electoral College, Congress, and representations in the U.S. Politics and Policy Research Area on the Pew Research Center site, overall 75% say that the current system of equal representation among states should be amended, and 24% say that the Constitution should be amended to give states with larger populations more representation in the Senate. In other words, lawmakers who believe in the existing electoral system outweigh those who don't. Now that we talked about the problem, let's discuss some of its causes. There are two primary reasons why lawmakers aren't interested in getting rid of the Electoral College. The first reason is the lengthy process it takes to abolish an amendment in the Constitution. According to Article 5 of the Constitution of the United States, which states an amendment may be proposed by either Congress with 2/3 majority vote in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, or by constitutional convention called by state legislatures. Then Congress proposes an amendment in the form of a joint resolution, which is forwarded directly to the NARA's Office of Federal Register for processing and publication. Simply put, the process will take some time. However, most states today are on board with abolishing the Electoral College. So it might not take longer than lawmakers may think. As stated by political reporter Grace Panetta in the 2019 Business Insider article, 14 states and the District of Columbia joined a movement to bypass the Electoral College and join the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, in which member states give all of its Electoral College votes or the winner of the popular vote. A recent poll found that 54% of Americans support electing a president by popular vote, which is 30% preferring the Electoral College. The states already in the compact hold a total of 189 electoral votes. The states already in the compact hold a total of 189 electoral votes, 1/3 of the total Electoral College. What this means is since most people are on board, abolishing will be fairly easy. The second reason is lawmakers see the system as democratic and effective. In his 2019 article about the 5 misconceptions of the Electoral College, political science author Alan Tarr stated, defenders of the Electoral College argue that the system was created to combat majority tyranny and support federalism, and it continues to serve those purposes. Simply put, lawmakers think the system is doing its job. However, the Electoral College has changed since it was first established. Here you see a chart of the Republicans and Democrats' view on the popular vote throughout the years. The green line is the overall Americans' idea of the popular vote from 2008 to 2020. According to New York Times political columnist Jamel Bowie in his 2019 article on getting rid of the Electoral College, he states, it undermines the principle of one person, one vote affirmed in 1964 by the Supreme Court in Reynolds versus Sims, a key part of the civil and voting rights revolution during that decade. It produces recurring political crises, and it threatens to delegitimize the entire political system by creating larger splits between who wins the public and who wins the states. Generally speaking, it has become undemocratic and ineffective. Now that we know about the problem and its causes, let's turn to the solution. The solution, which is abolishing the Electoral College, offers two important benefits. The first benefit is each person's vote will actually count. As stated by Doug McAdam, a Stanford professor of sociology and American politics, in his 2016 news article, National Popular Vote is far better than the Electoral College system. A single national popular or constituency vote would determine the president by who won the most votes total across the country. For the most part, you as voters would ultimately choose who you want in office. The second benefit is it reduces the unpredictability in the voting system. In Doug McAdams' news article that I mentioned before, he also states, without the winner-take-all electoral college system, voters will be able to exercise real electoral voice during elections. Unlike the past, voters will get to choose through the popular vote voting method which presidential candidate they want in office. Simply put, you as voters get the choice and your voice matters for once. In conclusion, the Electoral College system needs to be abolished. Let's review what you've learned today. First, we learned the problem is lawmakers aren't interested in getting rid of the Electoral College because the last attempt was in 1969 and the majority of them support the Electoral College. Next, we learned two reasons why lawmakers aren't interested in getting rid of the Electoral College, which included it's a lengthy process to abolish an amendment, and lawmakers see the system as democratic and effective. However, most states are already on board with abolishing the Electoral College, and it's changed since it was first established. Finally, we learned the solution is abolishing the Electoral College offers two important benefits, such as it would make each vote count and it reduces unpredictability when it comes to voting. With the information you learned today, you will have a better understanding of how you feel about this country's current voting system.